In this video, I'm going to take you through my 4 exam day predictions for the ACCA SBL pre-seed information for the September 2026 examination. That's for the company Hasper World. My name is James, and if you'd like access to my exclusive SBL notes you can see above me that have helped students around the world to pass their examination, click the link in my bio or down in the description of this video and you can have a copy yourself. I'm also delighted to say I'm affiliated and associated with Astranti, and they offer mock examinations and pre-scene analysis packs based specifically on Hasper World. And if you'd like to check those out, again, click the link in my bio or down in the description. And for pure transparency, as always, if you were to purchase anything, I'd be entitled to a small percentage which goes to supporting the content and the channel. And as always, a massive thank you. If you have any questions, leave me a comment below. I will get back to you, because our first exam day prediction for the SBL exam for September 2026 is an expansion into accommodation and holiday resorts on there. So where am I going with this? Also, it's worth noting, whilst I'm going down and scrolling, I have no intel from the examiners or anything on those lines. This is purely from my notes going through. So just a caveat there for the whole video. What are we looking at here? Well, we are told specifically in the pre-scene notes that Hasper World does not have any accommodation or hotels available to their guests. Now, why is this key? What you should be looking at is on the left-hand side of the page where we're told the theme park revenue segmentation for Dealand, which is where Hasper World is part of. So for the last 5 years, hotels and resorts have gone up from 3% of revenue to 4 to 6 to 10 and to 12. Those are the key percentages that you should be referring to in the examination if this sort of area was to come up. Now, the next key bit as to, well, why do we get the inkling as to accommodation? Why is it such a big thing? Page 7 for your notes on the left-hand side. We're told straight there under the Hasper World overview where my mouse is, unlike its 2 largest rivals, Hasper World does not have an on-site hotel or accommodation for its visitors, and there the board believes it will be out of line with its core theme park operations and focus on there, and they see themselves as a differentiator. But then on page 8 on the right-hand side, we're told by some of the non-business active shareholders that this is where they have expressed concerns at the slow performance of Hasper World and the potential need to bring in fresh ideas, which is where the expansion into accommodation and the hotel resort could come into it. So in terms of a potential exam case scenario, considering introducing a hotel and accommodation to compete with the major rivals on there. So this is all sort of practical things that we could be looking at, applying those percentages, as we said, on there. And it could link into applying models such as ANSOF. We've got the SAF model on there, potentially SWOT as well. This is where it's part of the actual core operations, creating a strategic debate, as we've been told about, within the ownership and the management. So you've got lots of family members involved in this, some saying yes, some saying no. Some are maybe stuck in their old ways, some may be wanting to try something different going forward. And that is where I think it could link into the people side of it and bringing in the board structure as to who is going to make the call. And it could also link into the finances as well. So that is exam day prediction number 1, expansion into accommodation or a holiday resort. Now, prediction number 2, a digital technology / improving of the actual customer experience kind of question on there. So the scenario which we're looking at now really is on sort of pages 6 and 7, linking into the technology points that we are given in the pre-seed materials. So if you head up on there, you can see advancements in technology, along with those theme park holiday resort points as well, along with digital and mobile technologies. Key bits on there. So a potential exam scenario on here, we've got for the company Hasper World considering investing in new digital technology. On there, we've been told about wristbands. We've got virtual reality on there. You can see where my mouse is. Augmented reality is another factor on there. All about attracting guests and to improve that customer experience and competitiveness with their rivals. This is where you could link in the other percentages that were told further up in the precede notes. So on page 2, you can see on the right hand side the theme park market segments for 2005. What's the market share like? Hasper World is still at 16%, the third largest, but how can we get that up to the 20 plus to compete with Space Park and Dinoland on there? So make sure you've got those names down. Well, what we're looking at there is we've been told about and key things for your notes on page 6 now. So coming on to those aspects of digital and mobile technologies, things for you to get down that you could apply on the exam day: mobile apps, queue management on there, personalized offers, and also linking it into that radio frequency identification wristband. That could be a great USP and experience for people who visit the actual theme park itself. And then if you go down to page 10, another area from a technology point of view could link into a sort of pestle analysis on there, is within the risk register that we're given in point 4, technological developments and cybersecurity. 2 areas of technology that you could refer to is that they currently have a website and a mobile app. You can see where my mouse is based on the right hand side, and it could impact adversely on our ability to operate. So you've got to think worst case scenario. What if the app and the website went down? What could happen, or what would happen if we actually improved it so it actually encouraged the customers to actually come to the park more often on there? It's all about increasing the satisfaction of the customers and the visitors, and then you could link that also to the KPIs that you can see on the right hand side, page 12, increasing the visitor numbers, increasing the net promoter score, and then really I would say the year-on-year visitor attendance growth. We're lagging behind the industry average, and increasing the amount of technology and the experience could definitely improve our percentage year on year. So that would be definitely to get something down for the technology and improving the customer experience, with some SBL theories it could refer to being value chain, SWOT analysis, and pestle on there. So that is my prediction number 2. Prediction number 3 is all about governance and bringing in some external expertise. Why do I say this? Well, page 8, we're told that Hasper World is a 100% family-owned organisation. We've got Henrik, Arthur, Claude. You'll see all the key names highlighted on my notes if you've downloaded them yourself. And what we're getting at here is, well, a potential exam case scenario is that we've got family shareholders questioning the current structure, considering appointing potentially some independent directors, so Ned's on there, and bringing in some external expertise into the business to help improve their market share. Key names for you to get down, you can see on the left-hand side on page 9. I've touched on Arthur, Claude, Susan, Marta, Joe, and Leif. I've put the ownership structure on there, but the other key thing to note down is we're not actually told in terms of the capital structure how much debt and equity is in the business. Could come up on the exam day, something for you to be aware of. But if you are going to make an assumption that it is 100% equity owned, make sure you state that as an assumption in your answer on the exam day on there. So really 100% family ownership, pages 8 and 9, definitely got to refer to that. And also that the founders are now over 80 years old, maybe sort of slightly stuck in their own ways. They've had this sort of vision when they first started it about having the legend of the mythical giants. You can see where my mouse is on there. All these sort of key things about talking about a mythical giant may sound a bit sort of, why would I refer to that, James? Well, it's the application of the precede materials that is going to differentiate your answer to pick up on more marks on that. There are concerns about slowing performance and need for fresh ideas. We touched on this on page 8 at the bottom from the non-business active actual shareholders on there. And this creates a sort of SBL discussion around corporate governance, maybe some succession planning, challenges involved on there. And when it comes to the governance code, just remember, you can see on my notes on the on page 9 on the left-hand side, it's not a listed company for the actual organisation on there for Hasper World, and it's a case of they don't need an audit committee like if they were listed on there, or a remuneration. However, from the size of it and it being so family-owned, having some external knowledge and external expertise and some independence could help the performance moving forward, new ideas. And that's why lots of SBL models you could apply on this, such as corporate governance, as we've talked about, agency theory, and Mendelow's matrix, and of course, stakeholder analysis could be areas thrown in. And that's why it has to be my prediction number 3 on there in terms of governance and some external expertise, because what we don't want to happen is for something to go wrong on the exam day for the organisation, and that's where you can apply the industry body on there, the organisation for amusement park operators, where worst case scenario we could lose our licence and the organisation could not operate on there. So worst case scenario, pop it down as a point, apply that actual industry body. The SBL examiners always have it in. Definitely something for you to get down. Now, prediction number 4, improving performance while managing sustainability and safety on there. Why is this key? Well, sustainability and safety, when it comes to the KPIs on page 7, you can see where my mouse is. We have nothing on sustainability. We have nothing on safety on there. And that's where a potential exam case sort of scenario for Hasper World would be responding to slower visitor performance, investing in its attractions and operations whilst maintaining safety standards and becoming more environmentally stable. What you should be referring to here, if you go down to the bottom part, you can apply the mission, vision and values. If anything came up on the exam day that agrees with it, quote it, refer to it directly, but you can see on there entertaining customers, exciting them, bringing joy, but then also considering the local community, the planet, security, welfare. But the bottom line is, when you look at the KPIs on the right hand side, year-on-year visitor attendance is going down on there compared to the industry average, and the visitor numbers compared to the market share is also decreasing. So something has to give, something has to happen. And if you go up to page 6, this is a great opportunity for you to actually apply some of the key figures that were given in the pre-C materials. The key number where my mouse is that 53%. So many students will overlook it, but in recent deal and travel and tourism industry reports, 53% of visitors prioritize sustainable choices when making decisions on which attractions should they visit. So again, that could be an inroad for HW to actually be going at and not to be overlooked. Plus, you're also applying the actual pre-C materials really nicely, and it overlaps with a variety of other different areas. Little things as well when it comes to improving performance and sustainability is in the seasonality. We're told about that some of the actual rides, because of the climate where they're based in Dealand, actually are not open for some parts of the year. So it's really key that you get down, and you can see in my notes, the main season is from March to October. And then what you need to be able to do is, and again, you won't have time for this on the exam day, you've just got to know it off the top of your head, is that I've put it in my notes on page 3 and page 4. The roller coasters, park closed throughout the year. Flat rides opened all year. Dark rides open all year. Some of the drop rides only partly opened as well throughout the year. So again, who's going to keep coming back and back to an actual roller coaster theme park when, if you go down to page 7, as we're told where my mouse is on here, they've got 11 roller coasters, and the most recent one was actually put up 4 years ago. And you kind of say to yourself, well, if you've been to a theme park, you've ridden the roller coaster, it was great, it was exciting, but there's nothing new. There's no new themes. And you could refer to the Magical Mountain, Forbidden Forest on there, Raging Rapids. But you've got to come up with a trade-off between investing into new opportunities to attract customers and visitors to the actual theme park, but then also being sustainable and from a safety perspective, because with these theme parks, you've got to look at the risk report. You can see on the right hand side, safety and security is on there, could definitely come into effect with a pestle analysis from a legal point of view, lawsuits on there, fines. Always think worst case scenario when it comes to your SBL exam. And that's where I think sustainability, safety, improving the performance, finding the balance, and you could also link it into financial areas, because last point on here, definitely something to note that you should not overlook, is when you look at the key performance indicators, It's all about revenue, revenue, revenue on there. There's nothing to do with costs. There's nothing to do with profitability ratios. There's nothing to do with actual capital structure on there. Definitely room for you to consider financial and non-financial factors within your discussion, with the lastly point being on the risk category up at the top. Climate change and environmental responsibility could link into a pestle analysis on there. Also potentially SWOT, balanced scorecard. There's a lot of leeway as to health and safety, balancing with climate and sustainability, and that key statistic of 53%. That's why it has to be in there about improving performance, but balancing it with sustainability and safety of an actual theme park on there. And that takes you through my 4 exam day predictions. If you'd like a full copy of my pre-scene analysis notes, you can see on the screen. Click the link in my bio or down in the description to download a copy yourself, and check out those Astranti mock exams based specifically on the pre-scene information and pre-scene analysis packs. They're definitely going to get you the 50 plus and to help you get over the line. Well, make sure you subscribe, because I'm going to be doing a lot more videos going through the pre-scene information. So I'll see you on the next slide for another video, and thank you very much.